Hello, everybody, and welcome to the World Around Us podcast. Go grab a snack, grab a cup of tea, sit down and chill out with me and Lady L for the next 20 minutes, where we're going to be having a little chit chat, talking about some hot topics, and just having a bit of a catch up. Hello, Hannah.
Hello, how are you guys?
How are you?
I'm good, yeah, how are you?
I'm great. So, obviously, we invited you on the show last week.
Yes.
We've got a few topics we'd like to discuss this week. I know we both wanted to talk about the music industry.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to get onto that later on in the show.
Okay.
Okay, so we asked over on Twitter a few days ago everyone's opinions on plastic surgery.
Uh-huh.
So we asked over on Twitter for everyone's comments.
Yeah.
I was watching a show this morning. This woman went on the show, and she had quite excessive surgery to her face.
Okay.
And it really, it just made me think, what's everyone's opinion on it? So what's, your opinion on plastic surgery?
You know, I'm not all for it. I mean, I would never get plastic surgery on myself, but I'm, not against it. I think if people are open about it, then that's okay. As long as these, celebrities or these regular people don't say, oh, plastic surgery is the new thing, go and get it. I don't know, there's two ways you can really think of this.
My personal opinion, it's not something that I would feel the need to do to myself. Whether that's a nose job, Botox, any lip, you know what I mean? But it's not something that I'd be disgusted by.
Yeah.
If someone wants to do that to themselves, go for it. But I wouldn't recommend people advising other people to do it. Another thing which I think someone said in the comments of the post on Twitter was about people not being truthful about having cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
So you see these celebrities like Kylie Jenner, for example. She had lip filler, and she obviously denied it for quite a long time. And it led to, I'm not sure if you remember this a few years ago, but this Kylie Jenner lip challenge where everyone on social media was getting a cup and basically suction cupping their lips to bruise them to be bigger and cause so much damage to themselves.
That's another thing about social media and stuff. You get Kylie Jenner, for example, these big lips, and people see them on social media, and then they're like, oh, I want that, but I don't want to go through the pain of getting a needle. So they find the nearest thing and stick on it, and then they bruise their lip. And it could cost them major damage.
Yeah, and this isn't anything against Kylie Jenner, obviously, because I think she is beautiful.
Yeah.
But because she then lied about it, it caused a bigger issue. But I also do think that people can go a bit far with it. Like this woman that I watched on this TV show, which inspired me to talk about it today. I do think that she went quite excessive with it, to the point where I think it looked ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, some people can get addicted to plastic surgery like anything. And, some people are, just totally not happy with the way it turned out. So they're going for more and more and more.
But yeah, talking about social media, there was a massive beef on social media over the weekend. I'm not sure if you saw about it. Between Cheryl, Becky Hill. But basically, Cheryl has started her podcast.
Yeah.
Over on BBC Sounds, titled You, Me and R&B. And it's basically an hour show where she talks about... Well, she don't really talk about it too much, but she plays some of her favourite R&B songs, talks about the song itself, talk about the different artists. And a lot of people are quite mad that they...
Oh my God, yeah.
have picked Cheryl to present this podcast because she isn't a person of colour.
I know.
What is your opinion on this?
I do get, more R&B style go for, a coloured woman. I do get it. But if Cheryl's been inspired by Beyonce or, whoever was at that time before she became famous, then let her. It's only a show. It's only a podcast. You can choose to listen to it and not listen to it. Like, people can choose to listen to this or not listen to this. It's totally up to them. But I just think that the whole thing between Cheryl and, everyone else has just become, so annoying.
Yeah. Without trying to sound ignorant, I didn't see what the issue was with a white woman talking about R&B music.
No,
because anyone is allowed to like R&B.
Yeah.
Yes, it may come from amazing singers who are of colour, but that doesn't mean that a white woman isn't allowed to respect the music.
I know, exactly.
A lot of people was mad because she was allegedly taking the space of someone who could be of a person of colour who could present the show instead.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's a lot of R&B shows where a black person could be presenting. She's not taking up anyone else's space. She's doing her own thing. And she's not claiming to be an R&B expert without going into race. I think a lot of the things that Cheryl does, for some reason, she tends to get a lot of hate for. Like when she was a judge on The Greatest Dancer, people didn't like it because she apparently wasn't an expert at dancing. She goes on an R&B podcast and everyone's mad because she's not an R&B expert. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sure, but can we go back to the dancing side of everyone's argument? Because Cheryl did, as all of Girls Aloud and Cheryl fans know, like you and me, Cheryl did grow up in ballet and she did take ballet lessons. She did take lessons in Girls Aloud. She was one of the best dancers out of the entire group.
And she's danced on stage for 20 years nearly.
I know.
So the fact that people was then... Because Cheryl got praised for dancing over anything over the years. She then goes to a dance show and then gets hate because she's not a dancer.
I know.
So then it's like, well, she can't really win with anything she does. But in terms of the Becky Hill drama, going back into that, so Becky Hill, basically, she shared a Instagram post on her story of I think it was someone called Dane. He shared a tweet and it was basically about the incident that happened in 2003 with Cheryl and the toilet attendant. Everyone knows about it, so I'm not going to get into that.
Exactly, yeah.
But because of that, people wanted her to speak up or apologise or speak on the matter, basically.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say the comments that she made a few years, not a few years back, but she was asked about it about 2 years ago, and she said that the conversation was boring and irrelevant. I don't think that was the best thing to say, but I agree. I don't agree with what she said, but I agree to the fact that it's become maybe a bit boring for her.
Yeah.
Not that she shouldn't. I'm not sure how to word this.
No, I mean, like, I think that, she's been asked about it for so long, and, she's, like, there's so many other things that they can talk about with her, like her music or, whatever she's got coming up.
Yeah.
And they are all focusing on that. But really, like, that's been and gone. Like, focus on the here and now.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say. Like, it's been 18 years.
I know.
Like, she's apologised many times. Whether people want to say she has or hasn't, us Girls Aloud fans know that in interviews, she apologised immediately after it happened.
Yeah.
I remember vividly an interview where she clearly states that she regrets it happening, she wishes she walked away. Yeah. She apologised in her book. She's apologised so many times.
Yeah.
And that... so I do see where she's coming from with it being a bit... Like, why is it still being discussed when she's apologised? Because realistically... I think if it was like Becky Hill, after she released the post about Cheryl, she was then exposed for saying some racist and homophobic comments on Twitter.
I know.
And she apologised immediately, and she was immediately forgiven. So it brings me back to the fact that Cheryl has apologised for 18 years and she's still not forgiven.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the part that I don't understand. And then, to make matters worse, MNEK, he's a producer. He produced for Little Mix, Becky Hill. He released a tweet saying, nobody cares about my opinion, but I personally think it would be in Cheryl's best interest to just talk about what happened in the club in 2003. Not throw it away as irrelevant and boring, especially if she intends on taking up black spaces.
Oh my God.
I mean, without... I mean, personally, I don't think he should have been involved. Because he don't really have anything to do with Cheryl, or... Like, he doesn't know her.
No.
He is friends with Becky Hill, which is probably the reason he's said anything.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying, that she should just say, look, it's happened all these years ago, I've grown from it, I am sorry, I regret it ever happening, I am not racist, clearing it up again.
Yeah.
I get that. But I just feel like she's apologised before. Like, it's been 18 years. Yeah. If I was still apologising in 18 years' time for something I did when I was a teenager, I would get to the point where I would be like, right, it's nearly been 2 decades. And you're still talking about it.
I know.
As serious as it was, it's been nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just find it weird how Becky was forgiven because he was quote unquote, she is his girl or something. Because they're friends, he forgave her. It just seemed like anyone else can do anything wrong. And then Becky was claiming that she had apologised so many times and spoke openly about it. But if she had done that before, then why did she only delete the tweets after they was exposed on Twitter?
I have no idea. Why would someone do that?
Exactly. I just think Cheryl the media has this thing against Cheryl where they will target her and abuse her for everything she does.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Cheryl can't take a break from the media. This is why she isn't on social media that much.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, no matter what she does, there is always a problem with it.
Yeah.
Even if it's something so irrelevant from so many years ago, it gets brought up. Just because she is hosting a podcast. She never claimed to be an expert. She's just sharing her love for a genre of music. Which, may I add, she has created R&B music. If you look at her page on Wikipedia, her genres of music which she has worked with is pop, dance, and R&B.
Yeah.
But she's not claimed to be an expert. She's just sharing her love for R&B music.
Exactly.
Like, it wouldn't be a problem if she was sharing her love for pop music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's an issue out of nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
But tonight, Cheryl has released 2 remixes. One of Fight for This Love and one of Sexy Denim Mother.
Oh, do you think that she's going to perform them on the weekend?
That's what I'm about to get into. She's going to be headlining Mighty Hoopla on Saturday. I'm very excited. I'm not going.
You're going?
But
no?
No.
Oh.
I'm going to Birmingham Pride.
Oh.
Which is September 25th.
Oh, exciting.
But I'm not going to the Mighty Hoopla, but I'm still excited to see the performance and what she's wearing and what she performs.
Yeah. I hope she performs a Girls Loud medley and Let You.
Let You, I'm hoping for. I would love a Love Made Me Do It performance, because Love Made Me Do It is one of my favourite songs. Which is quite a unpopular opinion, but I love that song.
Me too.
I'd love to see a performance of Sexy Denim Mother since the remix has been released.
Yeah.
I think it's a hint, maybe. But I'm going to play a little snippet of the remix.
Okay.
Hold on. I will in a minute when the speaker decides to turn on. But yeah, the remix was made by Alpha Love for the Sexy Denim Mother remix, and the Fight for This Love remix was being remixed by Smoking Jack Hill and Wilson. I am obsessed with it.
I've always wanted a remix of that song.
I've listened to it about 4 times already. I think it's single worthy, and I really do hope that she releases music again.
Oh my god, yeah, it's been so long.
Talking about music, what are your plans for music this year?
Oh, I don't know. I released my EP, didn't I, like maybe a month or 2 ago, and I don't know. I've got a few songs that I'm working on, but I don't know exactly when I'll be releasing them. But they're gonna be good songs, I think, and you should all look out for those.
And in terms of your YouTube channel, what do you have any plans for that?
Well, obviously I've got 2 YouTube channels. I've got one for my like sit down vlogs. I'm gonna be doing more of those, and my music channel is basically me saying my opinions about my favorite artists and also my music, and I will be carrying on with that too.
So talking about music, one topic that we both wanted to discuss was about the music industry. The singer Ray recently came out going against her record label, Polydor, and she basically said that she has been signed for 7 years and she's been refused of releasing an album.
Okay.
Apparently they have not given her the promotion to release the album, and they've basically said to her that her singles need to do well, otherwise she's not allowed to release an album. She's since left the label and she is now an independent artist. But this just dives into the topic of whether you think record labels are good, or do you think it's better to be a signed artist or an independent artist?
Well, I don't know, because I think obviously I'm an independent artist and you are as well, but you know, like we are, as independent artists, we are allowed to pick the songs that we are allowed to release. We're allowed to pick the covers, the album tracks, the album arts, you know, like when we're recording the song, what we think the song should sound like, what the lead single should be. So I do like that thing, but like, you know, like signed to a label, it can give you more opportunities. You know, it can get you on radio shows, it can get you more promotions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think both of them are good, but I think in the way of, you know, everything that's going on, I think independent artists are, like, the way to go.
Yeah.
Because you get to choose what you want to make, you get to choose what you want to release.
Yeah, I think in terms of creative freedom, being an independent artist is better. Yeah. You get to, you know, release whenever you like, release what you like, and you basically get 100% creative freedom.
Yeah.
The only issue is you're doing everything yourself. Unless you have other people helping you or working for you, you're doing it all yourself. Yeah. You're producing your music, you're writing your music, you're releasing the music, you're promoting the music. You're doing everything, basically. The good thing about being signed to a label is obviously the promotion, the budget. You're not having to pay everything yourself. With being an independent artist, it really all depends on what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to release on Spotify, iTunes, make a music video, doing the more higher budget things, you are going to have to put a bit of money into it.
Yeah.
But there's always the free option of releasing on SoundCloud. You can easily produce a song on your phone nowadays. It's quite easy to do it, but if you are wanting to promote a song or do anything like that, you are going to have to make an investment.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the end of the day, there are still record labels that give you creative freedom and they give you the promotion as well.
Yeah.
I think the issue is people are getting ahead of themselves, signing into a contract that they're not necessarily reading properly. I mean, I understand the fact that a label wouldn't allow an artist to release an album if their singles wasn't doing too well.
Yeah.
Because why would they put a budget onto something that they're not going to earn from? You know what I mean? So I do see it from the label's point of view. But at the same time, if you're an artist wanting to have creative freedom, maybe a record label isn't for you.
Yeah, and as well, you know, like these artists, like, you know, Cheryl or Lady Gaga or, you know, whoever, they can, you know, they want to make music, want to help people, you know, to, like, because they love to make music. And these big record companies, like, oh, you have to do it this way or you have to do it that way. And, you know, like, you need to listen to your manager or otherwise, you know, you're out a record contract or, you know, whatever. So, you know, like, they all want to do it because they all like to make music. And I think that's a good way for you to, you know, want to be an independent artist.
Yeah. In terms of being an independent artist, what do you think... If you was offered to be signed to a label, would you accept it or no?
I don't know because, like, my dream is to work with, you know, the likes of Lady Gaga and Cheryl. So, yes, I would maybe have to be signed to a label to get that. But in a way, yes and no. The no is because I like, you know, my own freedom. And I like to know, like, what I can do and when I can release music and what time I can record on my phone or stuff like that. And the yes, because, you know, it's going to be less stress. I can go on tour, you know, like,
Yeah.
I can work with Lady Gaga if I wanted to. But, you know, I don't know. If the opportunity did come along, I think I would. But right now, I find being an independent artist.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm releasing my first single on October 1st. A lot of people have been asking whether we will be working on any music together.
Yes.
To answer that question, we have about 5 different songs.
Yes, we do.
Together that have not been released.
No, that we have not actually recorded.
We've not recorded. We've had multiple calls where we've spent about 5 hours writing about 10 different songs. But yeah, I think we've got about 5 different songs.
Yeah.
That we've both worked on, written together, and just waiting to record. In terms of whether they'll be released, they will. I just don't know. I don't know when.
Yeah.
In terms of my first single, a lot of you guys have been asking if I'm going to be releasing on SoundCloud or Spotify or iTunes. Obviously, I said in last week's episode that I wasn't too sure. It all just depends on budget, basically. Because obviously I've got to pay to record the song if I want to do it that way. I've got to pay to publish my music onto Spotify and iTunes. And then I'm also wanting to do a music video as well. So it does depend, but it is possible. It's still manageable and I can still do it. It's just getting round to it, getting everything done on time, ready for the release on October 1st. But I will keep you updated in next week's episode. But that is all for this episode.
Yes.
If you guys have any other topics that you'd like me to discuss, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see Hannah again on the podcast, let us know as well. Make sure to go check out both her YouTube channels. I'll make sure to link them in the description. And is there anything you want to say?
Just thank you very much for having me on your show, and I hope you guys find these topics very interesting. And this is my first ever time actually being on a podcast, and I'm so happy that it's with you.
We'll make sure to do more. This won't be the last time, I'm sure of it. So we'll make sure to do some more episodes in the future. But Make sure to leave some suggestions down below as what you want us to talk about in next week's episode, and we will see you later. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.